Hello everybody. So today, as I had told, I will be discussing about little bit about the question paper and how and when exam will be held. As per our notification, so this exam will be held on 10th of May. Most probably, we'll ask the local. What we will do, we'll send the question paper to respective dean academics of various CIs, and I will request them to organize this written exam in their CIs. And most probably, this exam will be conducted 11 to 1. 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock. So you can change this, go to blank page. Yeah. So many of you have any question you can ask about the exam. Hello. Any of you have any query regarding exam? You can ask now. Hello. Will you ask anything? Unmute. Okay, no? Hello, anybody have any questions regarding exam? You can come on and when will be the exam? Yeah, I told you this exam as per our earlier notification will be on 10th of May, and it will be in your respective CIs. We will request dean academics to organize the exam in your institute, and timing we will request to fix from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. That's what I will do. And we have also uploaded a sample question paper which will help you to go through and the type of question that can come. So I may tell that this year also more or less your question paper will be similar type. And if any of you want to ask any question regarding exam, regarding question paper, then we can discuss that. But if none of you are asking question, I don't know how to interact with you. Once we clarify some of your, if you have any doubt, then we'll clarify, and then I'll go for some problem solving. And if you want me to discuss last year's question paper, I can do that. And if not, then it's fine. So any question from any of you? No question? Okay, the last class, somebody asked the question about the problem that the homework I had given. I will request to him to come up and ask his question. Or who asked last time a question. Then we can discuss, no? If I just go on solving the problem, whether it will help you.
Hello.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Last time I've asked a question.
Yeah. So now could you solve that? That's what I'm asking.
Sir, I have solved that, and the margin of error was coming out to be 2.5%.
In one case, in other case?
And so the difference between these two percentage was 2.7%. So both are in the same range. So that's why I was asking about it. So can
Correct.
we
I think
accept it, or
you have to, because I also calculated, so okay, I can do that for you. Can you go to the next page? Whether it is there somewhere? This one, the problem.
yes,
Yeah, this is roughly this one.
yes,
So when you have this type of problem, yes or no, or 0 and 1. So best way to work in fractions. So you have 2000 total volunteers has been taken. Those who have given vitamin C, and those who have not also given vitamin C, right? Yeah. So then what you do now, you calculate the fraction for this. This will be 1200 divided by 2000. That will be 0.6. And this will be similarly 1250 divided by 2000. That is 0.6625, right? Okay. And in this case, similarly, this will be 0.4. This second one will be 0.375. The fraction. So then, suppose you want to calculate standard deviation for all the volunteers where vitamin C is given. That for this type of case where 0 and 1 are there, or yes, no, your standard deviation sigma will be written f into 1 minus f, right? So if you do that, you get sigma for this. I calculated sigma, it's come out to 0.489. For this, sigma will be, that means we are calculating those who have got to 38. In this case, you will get 0.488. Yeah. So sigma you got. Then you have to calculate standard error. Sigma E. For this will be sigma divided by 2000. Similarly here, sigma E is equal to sigma divided by. Okay. So this will come out to be 0.010. And type something coming. Here it is coming 0, 1, 0. Okay. So once you know this, so what we can do, this 0.6 is basically 60%. And if you want to look for, 95 confidence, then you have to see how much spread should be this mean value, what will be deviation, standard deviation. So that can be given. This will be 0.6 plus or minus 0.03. What do you got this number? 0.6. So I have collected this. It's 1.96. 1.96 is 95 into 0.0155. Similarly, here it will be 0.625 plus or minus 1.96 into 0.0108. So that is coming 0.6. Eight. This is 0.625. Also minus 0.0. Yeah. So this, you can write this as 60% plus minus. This will be roughly 4%. This one you can write 62.5% plus or minus 2%. So what is happening? They are really overlapping. So their overlapping means there is no significant difference. So what we can conclude from this, that those who have taken vitamin C, you don't find the hypothesis what we were taking, that vitamin C, if you take particular tablet, then will not get cold. That is not correct. Okay. So could you follow what I did?
Yes, sir.
Hello. So this is what I think. You agree with this? What we have done? It's okay?
Yes, sir. There is a confusion in that because it is 4% and 2%. So I was having confusion that because
Okay.
there's a difference between 60% and 62.5. So there's a difference of 2.5%. So I was
Okay.
comparing with that one.
Because other one is giving a mean, is a higher mean, but lower spread. And
Yes, sir.
this one is 60%, but 4%. But more or less, both are highly overlapping. So
Yes, sir.
when they are overlapping means they are, statistically, you cannot, even statistics can give those values. So there are no significant difference.
So can we write that we can reject the null hypothesis here?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a conclusion.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
And I will do another problem for you. Can you go to the next page? Just to give you the idea a little bit. When you may get certain problems like this. And this was one typical problem that was given on the book, so I thought maybe should be useful. And you can look other problems in the book. Basically, you must be able to calculate mean, standard deviation, Z, and T. If you can do those things, then other things you can easily answer. There's no problem. Okay, let me go to another problem. Yeah, this is okay. All of you can read this problem. Basically, this is two samples you are taking, two set of samples. Then you are comparing them to find out whether these two are similar or different. So the problem is something like this. A research study was conducted to examine the difference between older and younger adults on perceived life satisfaction. A pilot study was conducted to examine this hypothesis. 10 older adults over the age 70 and 10 younger adults between 20 and 30 were given a life satisfaction test, highly reliable and scores on measure ranges from 0 to 60. With high scores indicates high life satisfaction. Low score indicative of low life satisfaction. The data are presented below. Compute the appropriate t-test. T-test you are taking here because when your number of data points are less, you have to go for t-test. At that time, Z will not be, because you will not get a normal distribution. Always, that too is center limit theorem. It says value number of data point increases, number of measurements increases, then it goes to a normal distribution. But if its number of data point are less, typically if it is less than 30, then you can go for t-test. T-distribution will be more appropriate. So what you have to do? You have to calculate T distribution, T value for this both the distribution. So I have done partly. This is the older people, 10 people, and mean I got is 44, and standard deviation was this one, and this is variance. Similarly, for this set of younger people, mean was this. This is standard deviation. This is your variance. So in such situation, you have standard error for you are comparing two measurements, but you have standard error for older people and also younger people. But when you are going to write a t value for two sets of data, you have to write something like this. Normally, Z, how you write? S1 minus S2, because one of them, if it is a population mean and other one is a measured mean, then you write the measured mean minus population mean divided by your sigma divided by root n square. But here you are comparing. When you comparing between two, then you define your t in such a way. And for this, if you calculate, I just calculated. Yeah. On calculate, you will get a t value like this. Equal to every number is there, you can calculate. So I will ask you now, for this problem, what will be your null hypothesis? See the problem, you define what will be your null hypothesis. Can anybody tell?
Yes, below what would be the answer?
Yeah, come on. You tell me, what will be your null hypothesis? Anybody? As I told you, null hypothesis is that there is no difference. Okay, you always define like this. The null hypothesis would be that there is no significant difference between younger and older adults on life satisfaction. That is your null hypothesis. Suppose I give a problem, then ask you define the null hypothesis and define the alternate hypothesis. Then you should be able to do that. My question is that. So you may be asked to do that. So this is the problem, and define the null hypothesis and the alternate hypothesis. So in this case, null hypothesis always defined there is no difference. So you said there is no difference between younger and older people on life satisfaction. Okay. Then what will be the alternate hypothesis? Can anybody tell?
There is a difference between their life experiences.
Yes, that's it. So your alternate hypothesis would be that life satisfaction scores of older and younger adults are different. That's it. Once you do these two, and then you have to calculate for 95% probability. So you integrate your area up to 95%. So then that will be your critical value. So you can go to this table here, 95%. And our degree of freedom are how many now? We have 10 here and 10 here. That will give me the degree of freedom. N1 plus N2 minus 2. You remember this. So 18, I look the table 18 and 95%. Okay. This is a critical value.
Sir, that is 0.975.
95% telling.
0.95 is on the left, right?
That is, this is cumulative probability. This is in one graph. It is giving cumulative probability, that means from minus infinity up to, people add up to, 95%, 1.96 sigma. The area will be this is cumulative probability, means something like this. So to something, all this. So to add up everything, because 2.5% also is added here, only remaining beyond this is 2.5%. This is like 110. Keep on integrating up to this. So that is what it is telling. This one. Okay.
Okay.
But we are doing now 210. 210 means this is, that means I am taking something, this area like this. 2.5 I am leaving here, 2.5% I am leaving here. So if that is the case, then my value should be like this. Okay.
Okay.
So this is my critical value. If we, any value, if it is coming more than this, I got how much? I got this value. This is my value is this one. But my critical value is this. I am telling if my values are this and less than this, then I will accept the null hypothesis. Right? And if my value is anything greater than this, then I will reject the null hypothesis. Because any value greater than this means the probability of happening that those values are only less than 5%. And my criteria is anything less than 5%. That's what I'm telling you. Then I reject. So my null hypothesis was that life satisfaction level for both adults were same. But if I take that, then what I have to do, then the value should have been less than 2.101 something. But now my value is coming more than that. That means I have to reject the null hypothesis because their probability is too low. My value is 4 point something. 4 point means it will be beyond somewhere. So that means less than 1%. Is a chance of happening. If I assume they are same, then probability of that they being same is less than 1%, less than 0.1%. Okay. So then I reject the null hypothesis, and then I say that I accept the alternate hypothesis that there is a difference in a life satisfaction level between older people and younger people. Similarly, you can also take other problem, but basically the steps you follow is this. Somehow you have to calculate your T or Z and then compare with table and find out whether your null hypothesis is valid or not. Okay. I hope that I'm able to convey. So then, how do I change the next one? Okay. We have another problem somewhere. That's this we did.
So can you please repeat the T critical again?
Okay. Yeah. What I'm telling, I want to get my what is the probability level did you choose and why? Suppose I'm taking with 95% confidence level. That will be the point where I will say that my null hypothesis is correct. Okay. That means I integrate the T distribution two-sided up to that is one, like Z table you integrate up to 1.96. That will give a 95%. So 2.5% this side and 2.5% this side. So this area is 95%. So this critical value is this point. At which point, because in case of t-test, it is depending on your degree of freedom. It is not like Z. So your degree of freedom decides the value. Suppose I get 95% confidence, then my p-value should be 2.101 or less. If it is, then you see, if you go less, then your percentage is increasing. 50%, 40%, 30%, 20%, 10%, 5%, 2%, 1%. Okay. So if you have a value 2.1 or less, then you can say that your null hypothesis is correct. This remember always. And if your T value, this one. Similarly, in Z value also, if that is coming, suppose Z value is coming less than equal to 1.96, then your null hypothesis will be correct. And if it is anything more than that, then null hypothesis is wrong. Similarly here, your T value, if it is for this many degrees of freedom, because in this case, degrees of freedom is coming into picture. So for this 18 degrees of freedom, your T value should be 2.101 for 95% confidence. 2.10 or less than your null hypothesis is correct. If anything more than that, that means you are falling, so your value, if it is falling in this region, that shows that you have very little probability of getting this value just by chance. Unless otherwise they are different, you will not get such a low value. If both things are similar, then your T value will not be so large. So basically, it is calculating if these two measurements are coming. Suppose they are same, then what would have happened? Your Z value would have been inside this. That means it is from a cell population, but you have taken two measurements. So in that case, there is no difference between older people and younger people. But in this case, your value is coming, your T value is coming higher than the critical value. Critical value for 18 degree of freedom is coming out to be 2.101, and you are getting 4.256. You see the table is increasing. This value is increasing means your probability is decreasing. You see, this is 5%, this is 2%, 1%. This is 0.02%, 0.01%. So even 4 means it is very little chance that they are the same. So the probability is very low. So in this case, you say that my null hypothesis is wrong. I don't accept the null hypothesis, so I have to accept the alternate hypothesis. And alternate hypothesis says that there is a difference between older and younger people in terms of life satisfaction. Okay?
Yes, sir. So the distribution followed by this t-test is also normal distribution, or it is Poissonian kind of?
It is slightly different. It is not normal distribution.
Okay.
Z distribution is purely a normal distribution. Because of that only you have t-distribution.
Okay, sir. And as degree of freedom increases, it tends towards the normal distribution.
If number is large, then it is a normal distribution.
Okay,
then you
sir.
can go for a Z test. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, then next one, what will be decided for you? This also did. Yeah, I think these two problem I wanted to do. What about this? First we did this. This. Okay, then I I am done. So if you ask anything, then I can only answer you. All of you have seen the question paper? Question paper, which papers? So you, for the exam, you people should know how to calculate mean, standard deviation for a sample, and find what is Z value, and if required, what is T value. And that much you could do, then it's okay. And this research methodology questions, if all of you have seen the question, so how do you find? This is easy or difficult? So I'm also thinking to generate question paper more or less in the similar way. First part, yeah, like the first part you will see how it is visible for you. Huh? Okay, make it visible. I hope the question is visible to you all now. Yeah. So you see, in the first part, first number one question, you will see around 10 questions, which will carry 2 marks. And some brief answer you have to give in maybe a couple of lines only. Don't write too many or too much. So, like, what do you mean by research? You must know what is research, what is science, what is research, what is technology, what is innovation, what is invention, and what is entrepreneurship. I think I spoke in the first lecture. Then, write difference between basic and applied research. Then write the difference between rational thinking and creative thinking. Anybody can answer now this question? Difference between rational thinking and creative thinking. Okay. Then what is difference between research method and research methodology? Explain the SMART approach. Write the difference between deductive and inductive reasoning. Write the difference between forward, backward chronological search. Define independent, dependent, and control variables. So like this. And then one question will come, maybe that one you have to write little, describe the detail and various processes involved in research methodology. This is a descriptive question. You have to write that, maybe a page or so. That's it. Don't write, too much. And there will be again true and false. Can see like this. And then we will have one problem. Like this, the problems we discussed, it will be similar to this. This is also, chapter 3 in the book will find this the problem. So then, second part, here also you have, very short question answers you have to give, 2 lines. What is meant by moral dilemma? You people just brush up all these things, whatever written here. What are meant by hybrid journal? What is UGC CAP and what is its purpose? What are salami publications? These terms, you just discuss among yourself. Or if you find time, then you can. What is data fabrication? These are, short answers, maybe 1-2 line. And then here, you have to write little in detail, like what is conflict of interest? How do authors, reviewers, and editors resolve this issue? So here in second part, you are very straightforward. No problem. You have only short answers you have to give and a little descriptive answer. Maybe this is maybe 4 line, 5 line only. As many marks each question carries, you can maximum write that many lines, not more than that. With that many line, you should be able to convey your answer. And part C, it is basically fill in the blanks. If you have attended classes, you will be able to answer this question. Yes. A PCT application must be filled within dash months of the date of filling the form. Okay. So these are all fill in the blanks. And the second question, is just true and false. Yeah, I think you'll have to answer this thing. Just it's better to discuss. If you discuss these points, then other side questions also you'll able to brush up. Okay. I think if you have no question from your side, then prepare for the exam on 10th of May. Last time we had exam on 28th May, 2 hours. Okay. Any question, anybody? Or not, yeah, see that YouTube videos thing.
Sir,
Hmm.
will the T table be provided if we have those concept questions?
Which one?
For questions like that requires a T table, will the T table be provided or do we have to bring it ourselves?
Yeah, if it is a problem requires the value, we'll write that. That will be given. You don't have to remember any T table. Now, suppose I can, if I frame a question and you need to know what is the 95% confidence critical value, I will give that. The critical value is this. Okay.
Okay.
Similarly, for Z table also will give. Very nice. Any other question? You want to, you like the question pattern or any suggestion? Want any suggestion? Okay, so will you give us the assignments? Go ahead. No assignment. Assignment one, if you have done, that's enough. We'll meet in exam only. Okay. Subhankar Gope. Then any other question? Because assignments. Okay. Okay. We'll not be giving any assignment this time, but only exam. Any other question? Okay, if not, then we'll stop here. And I wish you all the best. Write your exam confidently and score maximum mark. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.